Is that who plays? Let's just take, as everyone's starting to hop on. Oh, side note, one of the funniest and most obnoxious / I hate it and love it things on Power 96 is this Latina lady who does prank calls. Carmen.
Zeta.
I always want to call you Karina, but it's like 5:30 in the morning when I hear it, and it's pretty inappropriate and funny. We have people hopping on. Can you go through your notes? And I always like to ask with the 24-hour process to sit on it. Any other big takeaways, discoveries, points that stand with you from yesterday? Let's start with that, and we'll do a round of what you appreciate. Get it rolling. Waiting for La Isla and friends. La Isla and friends. Okay. And David, please remind me to mute appropriate times. Thank you. Where's that? Oh. So let's do a little. Okay, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
All right. Well, first, excited to be here once again, another day. What I appreciate is interacting, getting more time to spend together with this leadership team here.
Yeah, cool. And takeaways from yesterday?
Be genuine, know who you are, stick to your core values, and portray what you really want.
Okay, that's a big one. Luke.
I was telling Emily last night how grateful I am to have 2 straight days of learning and growth and just constant coaching and leadership and just how much some people pay for the leadership and growth that we get here. So it's pretty incredible.
Don't take that for granted. Yeah. I mean, you guys even, some of you, like Antoine's literally paying for it at school. Like he's learning situational leadership. What was the model? The leadership model, but the book from Norton. Yeah, I mean. Nordhaus. How do you spell it?
It's just how it sounds. Nordhaus.
Oh, Nordhaus. Okay, yeah, Nordhaus. I mean, paying for that and.
The book is worth it, to be honest.
By the way, Antoine, that you're learning that at FAU is pretty impressive because we are not learning that at UF. Like my business class at UF, I don't know a thing about finance from those. So
yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, I just.
Throw away all stereotypes.
Let's not take. FAU, and you got Lane Kiffin, not bad.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's big.
I really think that when you appreciate that thought, as a DM, when you appreciate that thought, it's really the most indirect accountability because you're like, wait a minute, you don't want to have any of your meetings. You don't want to go into these preps and take. I have how many years of this? However many years I started saving this from 2005 on. I have almost 10 years of these preps, and it's very easy. Ask Karina, we've done this before where you say, okay, let me see what we did last year. It's easier. Let's just repeat it because it worked. And technically there's some truth to that, but to come with new information, to be current, I think that takes work and that takes time. And one of the funny things I get when I give my DVM planning talk, I have these chunks of planning. They're like, what do you plan? Like, 4 hours of planning, what does that mean? And then I go into it while I do talk prep. Like, what do you prep? And I talk about, the comments and what do you have to do? And there's always someone, don't you just, recycle? And I go, and I say, that's why I have planning. And I explain why. And there's always this big light bulb. There's this impression on the outside that I'm like really cool with everybody, and I'm really not that cool. I'm just current. Mm-hmm. That's all. I'm not really that cool. I'm current, and I'm cool enough. The cool enough is intentional. Like I don't want to be past a certain amount of cool with everybody, and just out of sake of just having not mystique, more so I guess mystique, but being able to lead appropriately in my way. But I stay current. So when I say things like, this is an example. The whole savage thing. I know what savage means, exactly what it means. I know how to use it. I know how to hashtag it. I know what hashtagging means. But it's fun to have this little dialogue to make Jeff just old enough where he's Jeff, but cool enough where he's Jeff. Do you know? I don't know if that.
What's hilarious is that's exactly how I came up with that yesterday. Because I was talking about the savage and how you somewhat pretend not to know. And it just makes it more fun. And it adds that layer.
And it's not. And for this group, it's more for like fun conversation. But for the first years, everyone coming in, it's like, oh wow, he's cool, but I don't want to be like The number one characteristic of the division manager of this Cutco company for personal growth, I don't want us to be cool. Okay, what do I say, Karina? We're the team that is really focused on leadership and really impressive, and we happen to be kind of cool, not the other way around. I think if we operate that way, because it's very easy when you're 19, 20. When I was running a branch, I was really cool. Like really like too cool. Not too cool for school, like too cool, no mystique, and party with my not with my reps, but my assistants. My assistant was drinking beer in my office one day, and I'm like, what are you doing? It's stupid. Okay, stupid. And you just learn, and you're like, wait, that doesn't really work. And you can't really lead people there. So current and cool enough. But for you guys, you can be current and cool. The switch is having to make sure you have that separation. That's all. Good point. Thank you. Blake?
I appreciate clean water and being woke. And
Being what?
woke.
It's the new one you gotta learn. If you don't know what that means,
Okay.
talk to me.
Oh, go ahead. I got you. Add to the list.
Stay woke. Stay woke. And one thing I appreciate, or my takeaway from yesterday, is how organized the vector training is compared to the other ones. Because even very big corporate places or well-known places can have unorganized training or not or subpar management.
Well, there's subpar management in Vector too, by the way.
There is.
And I want to be very clear. And there's subpar training in Vector, just like in any company, I think. Luke knows how I feel about this. I'm not really cool with getting up on stage and bashing. If you're not with Cutco, then you're terrible. And sometimes people do that. You ever go to a talk and they're like, the feeling is if you don't stay with Cutco, you're junk, and Cutco's the only place, and you're stupid, and corporate America's terrible, and the doctor's terrible. I don't agree with that. But what I do think is if you understand how the advantages you can have in being here, that's really important. And I'm a married doctor, so I like doctors. I don't think they're terrible. And she makes more money than most DMs, so I don't think she's that bad, right? So, but having a respect of what we have versus other people, I think that's going to come across better. And the main point I bring that up is because you can't attract the sharpest kids, because the sharpest kids don't believe that. The sharpest kids don't think, oh, if you're not in Cutco, you're junk, because they're not. Their opportunities are pretty awesome, and they're just trying to make it better with us. So. Yes, you are. Go. Go if you will.
On that note, I remember talking to Kathy about this my first DM year. I was like, oh, why is there such DM turnover? And she's like, well, the best DMs are the ones that choose DM. Like, they're the ones that have a bunch of options as opposed to the ones that this is the only option, Because like you go into it.
Yeah, that's
more committed.
Yeah, that's the whole point of making you a 5-star recruit by the time you graduate from college. Whether you stay with us or not, we want you to be so good with us that, all the things you wanted to do outside of Cutco, you're not just going to get those jobs and all the typical, what's the typical spiel? Oh, and you're going to get the most recruited. But we want it so that we also want to recruit you the same way too. Right? Like, for example, I would say Andrew Evans. I'm starting to attempting to recruit him, and he knows this. This is not like, wait a minute, what? What do you mean? Like, Andrew knows that I am talking to him about, hey, you keep doing it because I'd love to see you. In fact, I flew him in early to Olean to meet with him and then a bunch of you to say, hey, I don't know if you're going to be here 5 years from now, but I would love to see you 5 years from now. That's all an attempt to say, hey, we'd like to court you. You mean something special here, and if I have anything to do with it, by the time you leave, everyone's going to want you, including us. And I think that's how I would want to operate. That's how I operated my collegiate career with Cutco. I have a story I'll tell you in a second of what I did last night. So operate with the basis that you want to be the most sought after person here, and even if you're not here, you'll be that much better. So good point, Karina. Soleil?
Well, what I appreciate is, of course, being here and having so many amazing people to learn from and learn with. And the biggest takeaway from yesterday was definitely living your truth and always knowing why you do the things you do.
Good.
And it was nice to get a little perspective on the month of January as well.
On the month of January, good. Sir?
Well, what I appreciate is being here again in second day in a row. It's awesome. I think it's my first time here, and it's just amazing all the knowledge that you can gather in one day.
Yeah.
And that's also what I took over from yesterday. That from the host from the host speech, you gotta do what you mean to, and that's what you gotta portray for yourself. So.
Good. Okay. Thanks for sharing, Antoine.
Well, I guess what I appreciate is being here, being surrounded by people who are growth oriented. Also, I appreciate Diego being here just because it lends perspective for me, especially just from going one year to the next.
Yeah.
Seeing kind of where I was last year compared to where I am now, it's kind of nice. I guess.
And I think the newer Antoine the older Antoine wouldn't have been able to coach Diego to be here versus where you were last summer and where you are now. So that's exciting. It's cool to have. It's cool to be an assistant and one of your reps is here next to you. It's gonna run an office. That's surreal, huh? David Vargas, I see you. Jake Soli, I see you. You wanna go? We'll go around the island real quick. Who's there in front of you? Let's give a look. Say hi to everybody. There's Oscar. Oh look, that's Carlos. Oscar. Okay. There he is. There she is. There he is. Okay. We're not gonna have time for what you appreciate, but just a quick biggest takeaway from yesterday. We can hear you.
I'm just doing testing.
Testing complete.
Perfect. My biggest takeaway was one is just like training mastering, like re-scripting 10 times. I really didn't think about it. Many people just script it once and just read it over, but rewriting it again will really help. And work on the things you need to work at to attract the people that you want. So for my two biggest takeaway from the last part, that's the only part I could.
Okay. Carlos.
Yeah, hi. Okay, so as far as biggest takeaways, I guess what Arya said is really good in the sense that you have to put in the work now to get the people the kind of people you want to attract on your branch or any other sense of the business.
Okay.
And another thing is that so far as when it comes to the work that we have to put in now, I really believe that I have to work on communication, which is where the speech comes in. There's also responsibility in a lot of other things that we discussed yesterday.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. Check your WhatsApp, please, Senor. Sent you a message. Hey, Francisco, how was your final?
Yeah, it was tough, but I think I survived.
Yeah. Were you savage?
What?
Nothing. Nothing. No, never mind. Go ahead. What? Well, how about just welcome. Good to see you. Welcome. Oscar.
Yeah, so my biggest takeaway from our discussion from the video of Earl Kelly was basically, from his key phrases were culture, big strategy, and you have to be the sincere and honest guy if you want to attract like a lot of people to be, the main recruiter. So basically, our discussion from Earl Kelly, that was my biggest takeaway from the session.
Okay, thank you. And we'll wrap up with the Queen Bee. The Queen G.
So my biggest takeaway from yesterday was the R. Kelly discussion as well, just because it's important for me to know like the kind of people that I want to attract, but also like what I need to do and what I need to grow and what messages they need to hear to retain them, not just recruit them, but also give them people.
Okay, good. Thanks for sharing. Well, let's dive in, everybody. If we could open up the folder for push weeks. You're muted. Thank you. Nice job, David. That's how you do it. Okay. So I'm going to put up on the board the push program sequence. Looks like that. You guys can pull that up for yourselves. And we're going to take this next section. Karina, do you have the agenda up on you? Up. Yes. Sorry, do you have the agenda up, rather?
Yeah.
Okay, let me start with a quick story though. Last night I left here, went home, changed very quickly, called my driver guy, Franco Aquel from Ecuador or El Salvador. He picks me up and we go to Miami, and a good friend of mine, Louis Story, and his wife are in town. She works for a restaurant group and she's head of HR. So they're down here, and this franchise group owns, I think, 30 plus Dunkin' Donuts, and there's like 20, it's a big franchise group. And so they're based in Miami, and the owner essentially was working with a accounting group and recruited her out and then brought her down here, and she flies down from Baltimore. Now I found out comes out every month, like once a month, sometimes twice. And my good friend Lou Story, who I'll show a picture of later, Lou came. And Lou is a good friend who I met probably just before sophomore year of high school. He's a little bit older than me. He's half Filipino, he's half white, and he's 6'6". It's amazing. He's a tall Filipino. It's amazing. That could be the end of the story, and I'd be okay with that. His mom is Tita Mel, sweet Filipino lady. His dad is Ernest Roy, Texas hillbilly. Anyway, sorry. So Lou's Story sold Cutco with me. He was one of my PRs my first summer selling Cutco, 1997. And of course, Cutco conversation come up, and Kina, his wife, said, "Man, 21 summers later. I mean, that's amazing. Who would have thought?" And Lou goes, "I would have thought. This guy made $30,000 his first. He's 19 years old." And then we just started talking about the fact that, now we're 20 years later. We used to always be about, "Oh, you're killing it, making money." And it's so funny. All the things we spoke about yesterday about, leadership and taking care of people, autonomy, gratification at work, servant leadership, because Lou is very high in his group too. I mean, it really sticks. And I think if anything from the story, not that I need friends to come into town to reappreciate, but I was going to not show up today, but I decided to show up because of Lou's story. So, yeah. True story, Lou's story. Okay. I love the I can't make it to preps the day of. So there's like two already. Okay. That's why they're not at this meeting. B squad. Oh, sorry. sorry. That's my little jab. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so
Did you want the agenda? Or?
Yes. How much time do we have for this? An hour? Right next to Kathy Pushweek.
Kathy Pushweek.
There's a number next to it.
Yeah, it just says 9, and then the next number is 12.
Okay, so 9:12. No, there's really?
Yeah,
9
you just have 9, and then
the hour.
so you just have
that's
what we're
45
doing.
minutes.
Yeah, but doesn't say Kathy Push. It says 60, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was looking for like the next start time.
Okay. So before we get no worries. Before we go into Kathy debrief, and I know there were some issues with the video. I've seen it already. I don't know why. I saw it from Vector Connect. Did anyone have a hard time with the video?
The link didn't work, and then when you search it,
I searched it. It was not coming up either.
It worked.
I had
It did not come up.
John couldn't find it searching. But
Yeah, I
it's
couldn't
not-
find it searching either.
You watched it?
I searched Kathy, I searched Vasquez, I searched
Yeah.
Bush Weeks, I searched.
There was
yeah.
only one video from Kathy that came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
So I had
going
John. I was like, "Go log on to my account." And maybe it doesn't count.
Maybe it's a DM.
Maybe you want to try it?
Yeah, but
I was
she
able
can do
to
it.
see in my account.
Let's see. Grace, how about you guys? What was your issue? What was your situation regarding the video, the Kathy video?
It looks like it's only available for DMs because neither like Oscar or Vargas could open it to their account, so Oscar just watched it from mine.
Oh. Have all of you guys watched it? Because I'm thinking maybe we watch it right now.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, let's watch. Okay, let's do that. That's probably because. So Grace can hear this too. Part of this message was to watch and debrief the push message, and then I wanted to review our FC push program because the more familiar we are, I found that the last few years we got really serious about pushes when the summer came, and then after the summer we forgot how to push, and we didn't have a system. But what I'm really excited to do is have it so that the 6 to 8 pushes of the year, we're doing the same things. And even if it's not summertime, we still have an all-day phone jam. Even if it's not summertime, we still have the same intensity. We might not have the same morning alliances, but if we can take that push week, if you're running a district office, even this for districts, year-round, having push culture, anchor number 3, it's the most important part to your business because push weeks are 50+% of our business. In some offices, push weeks are 60, 70% of the annual total. And I think you guys know that. And if you think of a summer, every single summer, you take the CPO from SC1, SC2, SC3, you take it over the entire summer, it's always more than half. That's pretty scary. So if you don't get good at pushes, you're not good at 50% of your business. So food for thought. Okay, so let me upload this video.
Technically, pushes drive a new business week.
And they give you more development.
So
So Vector Connect.
technically covering the other stuff.
I love when the password's already logged on. It's a little scary, but I love it. Okay. Grace, if we put the video up here, can you guys see it?
Why doesn't she just pull it up on her?
Or is it better for you just to watch it at the same time and then we talk about it after?
I think it's better if we watch it here and then.
Okay, give me a second. Let me, it's only one video from Kathy? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna watch it here and then
Okay.
let's reconvene right after, which should be just a little after 10:30.